Leader of proscribed Islamic movement in Nigeria, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, back in Nigeria. Federal government says his misconduct necessitated his departure.
We are going to remain committed and focused on what we should be doing to ensure that Nigerians get a very good and better deal, really, in the current dispensation.
Leadership of Nigerian Senate pays homage to President Buhari in Daura, pledges genuine commitment to national development.
It came when my business was shaking. Out of a sudden, I saw 50,000 naira in my account. That money helped me stand.
Enugu petty traders and artisans joined beneficiaries of federal government's trader money scheme as Vice President Yemi Oshibajo flags off projects. Plus, Operation World Stroke uncovers illegal arms factory, arrests bandits in Benue State. Good evening and welcome to NTA Network News on the NTA. I am Jumai Yusuf. Of course, we're broadcasting live in Abuja. Reading with me tonight, I have Jennifer Igwe in Lagos and Kemi Akinwande is in Ibadan. Thanks for joining us. We begin with the presidency. It was another busy day for President Muhammadu Buhari in Daura, Katsina State, as Nigerians from all walks of life continue to converge on his country home in demonstration of support and solidarity for nation building. The latest visit was the President of the Senate, Ahmed Ibrahim Lawan, who reassured the Nigerian leader of the genuine commitment by the National Assembly to support his efforts at bequeathing worthy legacies for generations yet unborn. State House correspondent Adam Musambo has the report.
Just returning from the journey of faith to Saudi Arabia, the spiritually reawakened President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, was accompanied to Daura by principal officers of the Senate across party lines. The mission of the Senate leadership here is not only to pay deference respect to the President, but also to renew its loyalty and commitment to him and indeed Nigeria. Issues critical to peace, unity and prosperity of the country were discussed between the President and his guests during the closed-door engagement that lasted about 1 hour. The highly elated President Buhari was seen exchanging light teas in repartee with the lawmakers as they depart for Abuja.
I will not smile.
Speaking to newsmen on the visit, Senate President Ahmed Lawan was emphatic that the 9th Senate is irrevocably committed to the promising vision and mission of President Buhari for sustainable future of the country.
We have renewed that commitment, Mr. President, that we are going to remain committed and focused on what we should be doing to ensure that Nigerians get a very good and better deal, really, in the current dispensation. So we are already primed and waiting for the next line of action, which is going to be on the budget 2020, which we believe that the executive will work so hard to present to the National Assembly at the end of September, and then we are promised that we will do everything and anything possible to ensure that we pass it before we go on Christmas break by the grace of God.
Before going on annual recess, the Senate screened and confirmed all the nominees of the President for ministerial positions, and NTA News sought to know the Senate President's impression on their capacity to drive the next level agenda.
These people are people of great experience, of great deal of patriotism and commitment. They have shown capacity, all of them. And in fact, one thing that was even more encouraging was the capacity exhibited by the ladies nominated, I think 7 of them. So we are looking forward with excitement to working with them. We are going to be very strict with our oversight. We intend to make it so that everybody is on his toes to perform. Mr. President will be leaving by the grace of God at the end of this tenure in 2023. Mr. President has expressed his desire to leave legacies. We are with him on this all the way, and the only way we can ensure that legacies are left by Mr. President is to insist that whoever is given a responsibility performs that responsibility. So we are going to work with those ministers and any head of agency to ensure that the policies of government, the legislation that we pass are implemented to the letter to ensure that we are able to achieve those things, laudable and noble programs and projects of the federal government of Nigeria.
More Nigerians continue to pay homage on the president. From Daura, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And members of the Katsina State House of Assembly have been tasked to be firm, honest and fair in discharging their legislative duties for enhanced livelihood of their constituents. Receiving the state lawmakers led by Speaker Tasiu Musa Megari on a solidarity visit, the president maintains that leadership entails earning the trust of the people and consistently staying the path of honesty and fairness. He urged the lawmakers to be selfless, visionary and committed to meeting the needs of the electorate while minding their constitutional responsibilities. The Speaker of the State Assembly, Tasiu Musa Megari, thanked the President for providing leadership at the national level and setting a standard on integrity and forthrightness for others to emulate. Away from the presidency to security matters, Operation Will Stroke has discovered a new arms manufacturing factory in Benue State and arrested armed bandits terrorizing Benue and Nasarawa states. Charles Abba reports that the operation also recovered not less than 2,000 rustled cows.
Commander of the operation, Major General Adeyemi Ekini, who explained that one of the suspects has been in the business of manufacturing assorted firearms for over 5 years. The other 3 are suspected of supporting banditry.
We are targeting the weapon manufacturers. We are targeting the source of the weapons. And once we are able to get them, the rest will be very easy for us to contend with.
He further stated that the other people are suspected of kidnapping, armed banditry, and cow rustling. A kidnapped victim, Wakura Daudu, said he was lucky to escape from the kidnappers who demanded a ransom of 2.5 million naira from his elder brother.
They tied my hands and took me to the bush, where I stayed for 1 week. They brought me out, and as we were going, we saw oncoming vehicle, and they ran for cover and left me, so I ran away.
Major General Yekini, however, assured members of the public of the command's commitment to reduce criminality to its barest minimum in the states under his operation. In Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
The Assistant Inspector General of Police Zone 6, Musa Kimp, has harped on the need for re-engineering of the security architecture through community policing and commitment to peace building by all relevant stakeholders across the country towards addressing the security challenges confronting the nation. This was the thrust of the keynote address at the Police Community Security Summit and Award in Port Harcourt. Robinson Derry today reports.
The Security Summit was organized by the Police Community Relations Committee with the theme Securing the Society from the Family to address the rising cases of cultism, kidnapping, and other social vices in Rivers State. The AIJ, who was represented, tasked community leaders to be willing to divulge credible intelligence to the police and expose criminal acts within their localities towards sustaining the community policing initiative of the Inspector General of Police.
Can only succeed when the community decides to partner with us by giving us actionable intelligence, relating with us at all times, knowing that this is their police. Then we'll make progress.
Chieftains of the Police Community Relations Committee in the state called for the revival of the value system within the family front as a panacea to sustainable peace in the country, towards actualizing the task of responsive and proactive policing of lives and property.
Government should fund the police properly from an exclusive fund.
Police is grossly underfunded. We want them to be properly taken care of so that they can take care of us.
If we can go back to the family and restore those values that used to instill fear and morality in people.
Awards were presented to some deserving officers. In Port Harcourt, Robinson Deratede, NTA News.
Daura in Katsina State is now one of the many communities to host an Air Force amenity. The Nigerian Air Force Reference Hospital, a modern facility with the latest medical technology. Correspondent Naja Autuchijani reports.
Personnel on the battlefront are likely to suffer broken bones and other injuries, but those with grievous cases will be treated here at the Accident and Emergency Ward of the NAF Reference Hospital, Daura, and devices like this monitor will check their vital signs. It is one of the many sophisticated equipment at the NAF Reference Hospital, which will primarily cater to personnel in the front lines of the Northwest region. Members of the host community, like 24-year-old Olalekan Moses, will also benefit from the medical services to be provided.
And the mobility from town to this place is very cheap. From the main town to this place is 15 naira. So the people around the neighboring villages around here can be able to afford the transportation. Equipped the hospital with standard equipment.
These include a cancer screening center, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, and ECG centers, among many other treatment facilities.
It's ideal for the care of critically ill patients, such as soldiers wounded in battle. In addition, this facility will be utilized as a teaching hospital for the training of our medical staff from the Nigerian Air Force School of Medical Sciences and Aviation Medicine.
This is in line with the Nigerian Air Force value-added services and operations in Katsina and northwestern states, where the Nigerian Air Force is supporting ground troops to flush out kidnappers and bandits. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
The leader of the proscribed Islamic movement in Nigeria, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, and his wife Zinat have returned to Nigeria. Emmanuel Anyimiro, who was at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, when the plane landed, tells us what transpired.
Journalists waited in vain at the arrival exit of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, to catch a glimpse of the IMN leader, Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, and his wife Zinat, who returned from India. A reliable source told NTA that security operatives whisked away the IMN leader. Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky departed for India on Monday this week after choosing an hospital of his choice in India, following compliance by the DSS with a Kaduna High Court order which granted him leave to travel for medical treatment. But the medical treatment could not take place after the sheikh was said to have come up with fresh conditions on how he wanted to be attended to medically, which was turned down. Audio message from the sheikh was said to have stated that he does not wish to continue with the treatment in India except the Indian authorities and Nigerian government accept his fresh conditions. The federal government of Nigeria insisted that that was against laid down medical procedures. It further stated that the sheikh refused to subject himself to preliminary medical checks, and frustrated by his antics, the Indian authorities decided to repatriate him to Nigeria. Emmanuel Anyimiro, NTA News.
Following sudden return of the leader of the proscribed Islamic movement in Nigeria, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky from India, the federal government wishes to inform the public about the latest development in the medical trip controversies to India, resulting to the IMN leader returning back to Nigeria.
A statement signed by the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Deaconess Grace Isugekwe, says government had raised some questions with the latest occurrences and particularly his uncelebrated return from India. The public may note that El-Zakzaky's actions in India demonstrated malicious intents that were capable of embarrassing the governments of Nigeria and India. With total disrespect and complete loss of decorum for international procedures, while in India, the statement says El-Zakzaky initiated contacts with a team of lawyers led by Alizia Kabir Chaudhary and Gunjan Singh in that country. He also contacted some non-governmental organizations such as the Islamic Human Rights Commission and other shared groups with the aim of seeking asylum and eventually relocate to another country. It is important to note that if an Indian court had granted El-Zakzaky asylum or leave to travel to another country, it will have violated the Nigerian court order that granted him permission to travel for medical treatment, the statement added. However, El-Zakzaky, the statement maintained, used the opportunity of being in India to attempt to internationalize his cause by mobilizing riot groups. Even most unfortunate and rather embarrassing was his quest to be relocated to a 5-star hotel to receive visitors instead of being admitted in the hospital as a sick person he claimed to be. In spite of El-Zakzaky's misconduct, the statement added his spouse went further to antagonize the Indian and Nigerian security agents and accused them of killing her children. These acts were aimed at winning international sympathy as well as disparaging the Nigerian government, having subordinated the quest for medical treatment to other ulterior motives. It became obvious that El-Zakzaky was focused on realizing some sinister motives, hence his decision to return to Nigeria.
A non-partisan public policy and good governance group, the Initiative to Save Democracy, says the leader of the proscribed Islamic movement in Nigeria, IMN, chose the hospital which he hurriedly ditched to return to Nigeria on Friday. The group, in a statement, recalls the press release by the Ministry of Information, clearly revealing that it was the cleric who chose and also indicated in his request to the court the hospital. The group dismisses insinuations that the federal government had anything to do with his choice of hospital. The Initiative to Save Democracy notes that El-Zakzaky and the proscribed IMN are only trying to be mischievous by politicizing his abrupt return to Nigeria. Now, let's link up with our studio in Kaduna, where Muhammad Ali, a security expert, is set to speak further on the repatriation of the leader of the proscribed Islamic movement in Nigeria. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Muhammad Ibrahim Ali.
Thank you, Jumai.
What do you make of this fiasco, if you might call it that?
It is to be expected, the drama exhibited by El-Zakzaky in India. And in contrast to the past, the IMN today represent a very serious national security threat embodied by El-Zakzaky, his bunch of social malcontents, and of course, the recent sympathy his short-lived medical tourism has generated while in India. He had also been able to hold 1 or 2 meetings with members of Shia communities around India. And of course, if care is not taken, he would have taken this country by surprise, because there are plans for him to be hoodwinked. And before we know it, he will disappear in India and he will certainly be flown to Iran. There are plans along that line. And we also need to know that there are also plans asking by members of the IMN, urging or asking government to consider sending him to Turkey, Malaysia, or Indonesia, which I think should not be even listened to, because should we allow him to go to Turkey, that means they will be able to perfect a sort of relationship with members of the PKK under the leadership of Abdullahi Omalanj. So this, I think, should be taken seriously. And members of the IMN are actually trying to be mischievous, because they are trying to Islamize criminality. And of course, Islamization of criminal tendencies is just a pathway to terrorism. So this is the more reason why the issue of El-Zakzaky and his followers must be taken seriously. And we have enough medical facilities in Nigeria that can take care of whatever ailment he has. So I think government has done the best they can by acceding to the court order that granted him medical leave. He has gone and violated the conditions laid down by the court. So since he has acted in violation, he should be treated back home, pure and simple.
Back, what next? Has the federal government been vindicated?
The federal government has been thoroughly vindicated, because from every indication, he was not in India to seek for medical attention, but rather to use India as a fortress for him to escape. And of course, the plan is, if he escape, he will stay away for 4 or 5 years until after the tenure of His Excellency President Muhammad Buhari, before he comes back under the dream of his so-called Islamic Republic of Nigeria.
So much, Mr. Muhammad Ali, for your insight on the El-Zakzaky saga.
Thank you very much.
News on the NTA. Let's take a break. The news continues shortly.
Now me I go ask and say, why all of us go pay 100,000 naira? Say your husband, he want do 70th birthday. She now all of us marry them together. When her mama die, she collects money. Her papa die, she collects money. Her mama die, she collects. You remember when she talked, say she wanted her mama dead body. Mama, you too talk. Now you be glad when they dash me credit anyhow. Imagine, 40-year-old dead body. Why you they laugh now? Now try to bring your money. Mama, no laugh. Not be you, Jare. Now some apropos customer there when they know they mind their own business. Whoa, I never even begin to give you her gist.
Glow and Maple. Get 5 times your recharge to call all networks. Recharge with *555*PIN#.
Make her sell my market finish first, eh? I will call you back. Oh.
Glow Unlimited.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, invites all ministers designated of the Civil Service of the Federation, Federal Permanent Secretaries and top government functionaries specifically invited to a 2-day induction retreat to be presided over by His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. To the retreat earlier publicized has been rescheduled as follows. Date Monday 19th to Tuesday 20th August 2019. Time 9 a.m. daily. Venue State House Conference Center, Presidential Villa, Abuja. The objectives of the retreat include to build a strong platform for synergy and teamwork, to sensitize appointees on the status of implementation of policies, programs, and projects of the government from 2015 to date, acquaint the appointees on the roadmap for delivery of government priorities and next-level agenda. Deepen the understanding of participants and best practices in conducting government business. The swearing-in of all ministers designated by the President shall hold as follows. Date Wednesday, 21st August 2019. Time 11 a.m. Venue Federal Executive Council Chambers, Presidential Villa, Abuja. Attendance at both events is mandatory and strictly by invitation. Announcer Babatunde Lawal, Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Affairs Office, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
The Federal Ministry of Budget and National Planning, as part of its ongoing efforts towards developing a citizen budget, is organizing a training exercise using GIFMIS budget preparation subsystem for all planning and budget officers in federal ministries, departments and agencies from 19th to 24th August 2019 at the following 6 geopolitical zones, locations and centers. North Central is slated for 26th to 31st August 2019. Southwest 1 Lagos, Southwest 2 Ibadan, Northwest Kaduna, Northeast Gombe, South Uyo, Southeast Enugu, North Central Abuja. Ben Akabweze, announcer.
Bayes University is a fully licensed university operating since 2011 and has grown to have 32 accredited programs in 6 faculties. This includes computer and applied sciences, management and social sciences, engineering, environmental sciences, law, and basic medical sciences. The university also offers postgraduate programs and foundation courses in a conducive learning environment with modern teaching facilities and high-quality national and international staff. Bayes University graduates have either progressed into respectable career positions or have obtained postgraduate degrees from different parts of the world with distinctions. Call or visit www.bayesuniversity.edu.ng. Bayes University, Abuja. Learn to live.
Keep your white fabrics glowing whiter, your home sparkling and free from germs with Hypo. Make a dazzling impression every time and let your white speak for you.
My wife. Any other wife is a counterfeit. Oh, Mama.
Endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association. Now available in lime breeze.
Glow and Maple. Get 5 times recharge with *555*PIN#.
Make her sell my market finish first, eh? I will call you back. Oh.
Glow Unlimited.
You're watching NTA Network News live in Abuja. About 30,000 petty traders and artisans in Enugu State, 61% of them women, have so far benefited from the federal government's Trader and Market Money project, with many more on the line to reach the 50,000 target in the state. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo made this known during the official launch of the Trader Money project in Enugu. Susan Eze has details.
Like a mustard seed, the Trader Money, a 10,000 naira collateral and interest-free loan from the federal government, is being sown as seed money to boost petty businesses across the country. Among the 23,834 beneficiaries of Trader Money and 4,577 beneficiaries of Market Money in Enugu are these petty businessmen and women who are already counting their gains.
When that money came, it came like an angel. It came when my business was shaking. Out of a sudden, I saw 50,000 naira in my account. That money helped me stand.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is happy that the program is yielding the desired goal in Enugu State and promised that the program, in conjunction with the Bank of Industry, will continue to support traders who are faithful to the terms of the loan project to grow their businesses, as the multiplier effect will in turn boost the nation's economy. Added to the Traders Empowerment Program already institutionalized by the Enugu State government, the State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi is confident that the empowerment program will find fertile ground to grow in the state.
We want to make sure that every trader has some money. Every trader should have some money, a little money to continue to do business. When you pay back, you get some more money, so that you are able to prosper. When you prosper, the country will prosper.
It's a novelty of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration designed to enable micro-entrepreneurs and artisans grow. It is intended to reduce poverty among the Nigerian people and consequentially reduce crime and improve security of lives and property.
The federal government Trader Money has an entry-level loan of 10,000 naira and the Market Money 50,000 naira in ascending order. Those who pay back their loans get higher amounts to boost their businesses to the next level. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
Transborder travelings with no effective transportation and communication systems, religious missionaries and expedition of the olden days were responsible for the separation of families, relatives and friends whom, for circumstances beyond their control, settled in countries, states or towns other than theirs. This played out when Gambian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Amadou Sheikh Umar Tal, traced his long-separated relatives, Yeleman district in Hadija, Emirate of Jigawa State, where he celebrated the just concluded Eid al-Kabir Salah with them. Mohammed Musa Askira completes the report.
History books show that Sheikh Umaru Al-Futi, the founder of Tekolo Empire, the spiritual and military commander of Tijaniya sect in what is now known as Guinea, Senegal, Gambia and Mali, left Futa Toro in Senegal for expedition across West African sub-region in the early years of the 20th century. Yeliman town in Hadija Emirate of Jigawa State in Nigeria was one of the places he visited where he left his grandsons and daughters. Those left behind were the great-grandfathers of the present Sarki of Yeliman, Sardauna Habib Tal, who is also the Khalifa of Sheikh Umar Al-Futi. In a surprising move to reunite the two separated families by distance, the Gambian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Amadou Sheikh Umar Tal, traveled to Jigawa State to spend the Eid al-Kabir celebration break with his Gambian relatives based in Nigeria. While at the Yeliman town, the High Commissioner Amadou Sheikh Umar Tal was accompanied by the Khalifa Sardauna Habib Tal to pay homage on the Emir of Hadija, Al-Hajj Adamu Abubakar Maji, where he thanked the Emir and the people of Hadija for accommodating his relatives and treat them in no different way as their own people.
Since independence, we have been working very closely, and Nigeria, being the big brother, has actually helped the Gambia a lot over the years, through technical assistance and so on. So we are very much grateful to the government of Nigeria.
The Sarki of Yeliman, Sardauna Habib Tal, who took time to explain the long-standing relationship, described Nigeria and Gambia as one country separated by distance, as two countries have many things in common. The reunited brothers agreed to sustain the rekindled brotherhood prompted by the visit of the High Commissioner. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
Nigeria's petroleum industry is receiving an onward review, with multinational corporations expressing confidence and optimism of cordial future business relations. The ExxonMobil chairman, in an interaction with the group managing director, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, says early signals from the study on its new action plans, anchored on collaborative approach with stakeholders, show profitable business deals, new levels of investment and growth in the industry.
I sincerely believe I see really good days ahead.
GMD NNPC Malam Mele Kyari is promising ExxonMobil the best of corporations, which will see the oil company return to its position as the biggest crude oil producer in Nigeria.
Together we can take us back into full investment and to ensure that at the end of the day there's value for all of us.
The NNPC board has also assured management of the Nigerian liquefied natural gas, NLNG, that the execution of final investment decision on Train 7, expected to commence in October, is a done deal. The 8 million tons per annum MTPA Train 7 project is designed to expand NLNG's capacity from 22 to 30 MTPA. The project is estimated to generate 12,000 jobs, impacting positively on the economy. Alhaji Malam Mele Kyari wants is for NLNG to identify obstacles that could hinder its actualization. This reassurance, the NLNG's managing director says, is music to his ears. Lagos is up next as we join Jennifer Igwe for more details. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Jumai, and welcome to Lagos. The federal government's resolve to tackle smuggling is yielding results as the Nigeria Customs Service, through its Strike Force Team Zone A, intercepted a trailer load of illicit drugs valued at more than 5 billion naira. National Public Relations Officer of Customs, Joseph Atta, made this known to newsmen in Lagos. Dotun Oguyemi has the report.
The 21 trailer trucks contain highly addictive painkillers, including codeine and tramadol. The public relations officer told newsmen that the illicit drugs were intercepted by a team of Customs Strike Force Zone A when the smuggler attempted to move the drugs from Lagos to other parts of the country.
Well, to the extent that the Nigerian Customs Service, in collaboration with NAFDAC, NDLA and other sister agencies, are dealing with the challenge of drug smuggling. Not only drug, anything that could compromise national economy and security. You see that the security forces are increasingly bonding together in the interest of this nation.
We are happy that our effort is helping to safeguard the health and security of our own people.
While investigations are ongoing, the Customs reiterated its hard stand against smuggling in the country. It would be recalled that in July 2019, the Nigerian Customs Service, in collaboration with NAFDAC, commenced the destruction of seized illicit drugs worth more than 14 billion naira. In Lagos, Dotun Oguyemi, NTA News.
Now, if the African continent is to benefit from the Belt and Road Initiative by China, there is an urgent need for African nations to formulate development plans that will provide maximal mobilization of domestic resources for infrastructural growth. These were submissions of speakers at the roundtable in Lagos. Kenneth Beluge has details.
The roundtable discussion organized by the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs had scholars and policymakers in attendance. The aim is to brainstorm on the Belt and Road Initiative and Africa, problems and prospects. Speakers agree that China provides infrastructure funding to developing economies under loan terms. This, they say, could lead to the recipient countries' indebtedness to China.
Africa must hold China on their promises and be able to get the best of it. For instance, China has promised to advance industrial capacity cooperation along with the implementation of the Belt and Road Initiative in line with the AU's Agenda 2063.
Critics of the initiative are of the opinion that the time has come for the African continent to develop its own infrastructure and reduce overdependence on external funding.
Even at domestic level, most African states have not been able to get their acts together.
Fight corruption so that we strengthen our institutions, we provide technical know-how to our own people so that to kick off this particular massive technical innovation as well as infrastructure development, that tomorrow we can build other cities not only in Africa.
Belt and Road Initiative is China's signature vision for reshaping its global engagement. It was launched in 2014. 65 countries, including 20 from Africa, have so far signed on to the program. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
Thank you, Ken. And for business news, Salami is on standby.
Thank you, Jennifer. Good evening and welcome to the business news segment. Figures released by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics show that July inflation figures dropped by 0.14% to 11.08%, as against the 11.22% recorded in the month of June of 2019, while food inflation rate declined to 13.39% from its initial figure of 13.56% in June. This decline, Director General at Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Muda Yusuf, attributed to the sustainability in the macroeconomic sector.
With that, I think we should be able to, make a lot more progress in terms of bringing down inflation. The core inflation is driven largely by the import component of the goods and services that we consume in the country. And the fact it has been low and it has been stable indicates that we have seen some stability around the macroeconomic environment, particularly on the foreign exchange side.
He emphasized the need for reduction in food rate to a single digit. Ekiti State government will invest more in the development of infrastructural projects towards building a sustainable economy. Ekiti State Governor Kayode Fayemi, while briefing stockbrokers on the facts behind the state's economy, said state-owned and private sector enterprises are taking advantage of the friendly business environment to grow their businesses.
Signifying the successful completion of a 20 billion bond issuance, part of the 25 billion multi-note issuance program. As with our first foray into the debt market, the capital raised was used for infrastructure projects.
That during your previous term in office between 2010 and 2014, the exchange supported the issuance and listing of the 20 billion naira fixed rate infrastructure development bond. In that time frame, the economy expanded by over 63% in nominal terms to become a trillion naira economy.
The Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Oscar Oyema, assured him of more support. And still staying put with the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Nigerian equities market for a third-day trading session recorded a huge decline in figures. Here are details of today's trading. At the close of Friday's trading, the market dipped by 0.47% to close the All-Share Index at 26,925.29 basis points. Volume of shares traded stood at 258 million, valued at 3.53 billion naira, which changed hands in 4,662 deals, with a market capitalization of 13.12 trillion naira. On the activity chart, Dangote Cement, Flour Mill, and Buck Glass closed in the green, while on the flip side, Nestle, Okomo Oil, and Nascon declined in figures. On sectoral performance, NSE banking and industrial sectors closed in the green, appreciating by 0.98% and 0.55%, while NSE consumer goods, insurance, and oil and gas declined in figures by 5.14%, 0.29%, and 0.82%. And that does it on business news. Juma in Abuja will be back with the rest of the news after this short commercial break. Please stay with us.
Wakapa.
follow.
Kitty, kitty.
Oh, baby.
He doesn't want overripe things.
Dudu by nature.
Black is beautiful.
Oh, talk to the hand.
The baby is black.
Ask her.
Uche, quickly send me the baby video.
Okay, ma.
Yeah, he's playing.
Oh my goodness. He's loving it. Oh, thank you.
Welcome. Bye.
Data is oxygen. Glow 4G, the new speed of life. Your #1 4G network nationwide. The very best from Glow, the grandmasters of data.
Here you go.
Madam.
That's it. Those naira are enough.
Hi, dear. Helen, you got so much even after spending so little.
Savings is such a necessity.
You save everywhere, but here, you lose it all.
How?
With this?
Impossible.
New Tika Apic 10X. Even after applying up to 1 liter of your solution multiple times, you won't get the same cleaning that Apic gives you in a single round.
And the expense?
Far less compared to your 1 liter of solution. New Tika Apic. Tough in cleaning, tough in savings.
The Nigerian Army invites applications from eligible Nigerians for commission into the Nigerian Army as short service combatant and direct short service commission officers. Applicants must be Nigerian, male or female. The ages for short service combatant is between 23 and 28, while those applying for direct short service commission must be between ages 20 and 32 by January 2020. Only medical consultants can be up to 40 years of age. They must be physically, mentally, and medically fit according to the Nigerian Army standards. To apply, log on to www.nigerianarmyms.ng. Follow the prompts and complete the application process. Then print out an online generated photo slip or card. All applications must be completed and submitted online, not later than 28th September 2019. Active Military Secretary, Army Announcer.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous. Whether you do it for fun or for political gains, real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
Welcome back. 32,673 candidates out of the 55,532 that sat for the 2019 May-June National Business Certificate (NBC) and National Technical Certificate (NTC) examinations scored 5 credits and above, including English and mathematics. The Registrar and Chief Executive of the National Business and Technical Examination Board announced this at the board's national headquarters in Benin City. Ogo Chukwuka Ona reports.
A breakdown of the results indicates that a total of 56,413 candidates registered for the examination in 1,501 centers. 15 candidates enrolled for engineering trades, 7 in construction trades, 9 miscellaneous trades, 4 business trades, and 21 in general education subjects. Out of this, 55,532 of them sat for the examination, representing 98.44%. And out of the 30,955 candidates that sat for various trades, 16,573, representing 53.54%, were certified as craftsmen, a slight increase compared to that of last year, where out of 31,441 candidates, 15,545 were certified.
A total of 46,120 candidates obtained 5 credits and above with or without English language and mathematics. Comparatively, this performance is similar. There is really no significant difference between this and that of the previous year, where we had 32,660 97 candidates scoring 5 credits and above, including English and mathematics.
Quality assurance mechanisms put in place by the board to checkmate examination malpractice accounts for this success story. The registrar says the board is happy with the marginal increase in enrollment due to adequate enlightenment. In Benin, Ogochkuka Ona, NTA News.
The federal government says it will appeal the judgment of English court against Nigeria on the dispute that led to the arbitration between 8th and Process and Industrial Development Limited. In a statement, the Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Justice, Dayo Akpata, says counsel to the federal government have been instructed to seek the stay of execution of the judgment. The federal government reaffirms its commitment to defend the interest of Nigeria in the matter by exploring every viable option. The dispute arose from a 20-year gas supply and processing agreement regarding accelerated gas development project. The statement affirmed that the Process and Industrial Development Limited never began the construction of the project facility, but alleges it incurred $40 million in its preliminary expenses. In recognition of Nigeria's effort to resist the enforcement of the judgment, a judge in the United States of America has ordered that Process and Industrial Development Limited cannot enforce judgment against Nigeria until a date after the courts resume from the current vacation in Nigeria. And for more reports, let's now join Kemi in our Ibadan Network Center. Hello, Kemi.
And welcome to Ibadan. Policymakers in the country are concerned on adequate infrastructure at the rural areas in the country for food security. This is the focus of a lecture in honor of the late agroeconomist, Professor Francis Idachaba at the University of Ibadan. Larry Belay has more.
2/3 of the nation's population are in the rural areas. These areas are predominantly farmers and have had policy made for them for the nation to have food security, especially on infrastructure. This is what the maiden edition of the Memorial Public Lecture of the renowned agroeconomist, Professor Francis Idachaba, dwelt on, where experts highlight the challenges and the way forward.
Constantly overreaching the state in performing these functions, then there will be role overlap, role confusion, and eventually role failure.
One thing that we know for a fact that can encourage the youth to participate in agriculture is by ensuring that mechanization tools and proper knowledge of what agriculture is all about must be disseminated to them.
It is the question that even the agricultural economics up till today keeps on asking because they haven't got the answer.
The Professor Francis Idachaba Memorial Lecture on Agricultural Policy in Nigeria was organized to carry on the torch that the agri-economist took with him in his contribution to national development in Ibadan. Larry Bilayi, NTA News.
And that's the news from Ibadan. Juma, it's back to you.
Thank you, Kemi. President Muhammadu Buhari is asking the young men and women in the country to take up sport as a career to further unite the country and earn respectable incomes. The president was speaking in Daura while playing host to soccer teams and members of the organizing committee of the PMB Cup for Chance and annual football contest in Daura Emirate. State House correspondent Adam Musambo has the report.
President Muhammadu Buhari commended the organizers of the competition for not only maintaining unity amongst the youth in Daura Emirate, but also keeping the young lads engaged and away from mischief and lawlessness. He said in addition to physical and mental fitness, sports has the function of promoting employment and well-being of those who are successful. As he puts it in Hausa language, sports gives jobs. It is also a truly paying business from which people earn respectable incomes. The president hoped that those who excel in zonal sports will rise to the state level and eventually grow into national reckoning. The Secretary General of the local organizing committee of the sporting activities, Aliyu Bello, had informed the president that before the introduction of the various competitions, young people in the area had to contend with idleness, lawlessness, and in some cases, drug abuse. He said the revival of the sporting events made possible by one Alhaji Sani Abu led to significant decline in the unwanted activities. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, and the Katsina State Director of Sports speak on the significance of the engagement between the President and the sports enthusiasts in Daura.
There's a very important message that the President wants to send to the youth of this country. Before the institution of the various competitions that are taking place in this zone, unemployed youths had taken to many untoward activities, drugs, absenteeism from school, so many unfortunate things. With the institution of this plethora of competitions, supported, of course, by the President himself, so much has changed with the young people. In fact, not only are they being engaged in their time, some have found worthy careers that they are pursuing in the sporting area.
The essence of this competition is to see that we get talents from the grassroots, especially in the Daura senatorial zone. We decided to see that we must see the President and show him that the youth of the senatorial zone and Katsina State in general are behind him, and they are doing this to make sure that the ideology of the President is inculcated in our youth in sports competitions.
The Director of Sports in particular gave the assurance that the present administration in the state will continue to provide facilities for the promotion of sports in Daura zone and across Katsina State. From Daura, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Sports update, it's next.
Live from all football-related activities, the adjudication